You need at least 2 from each Lucas and World of Outlaw. I think it'd be important to have strong regional guys, Chad Simpson, Jesse Stovall, Jason Covert, Jack Sullivan, Chris Ferguson. A guy that basically runs regional but does not branch out and run the big series as well. We are in touch with local tracks and competitors all the time. The Highside Hustler explained why he thinks the sanctioning bodies have become too harsh and his hopes for a fix in that aspect on the sport. He says absolutely nobody wins when there is a suspension. Points, winnings, and fines are more than sufficient. Then everyone gets to keep racing. If someone wants to race for free, let them. The only thing that warrants a suspension is harming someone or attempting to. Drivers just want consistent and equal rules for everyone. No special treatment, just fairness across the board. Another thing, where do these fines go? NFL goes to a charity. Fines should go to the points fund, injured drivers fund, charities, Hall of Fame, or somewhere. Okay, this is what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Which is valid.
That is a valid point right there. Where is the fine going?
Right. So he says he gave some insight on what the lasting impressions, suspensions, and penalties leave on drivers, teams, and fans, and if this is just a short-term negative impact or if it will last over time. He says, I think it's crazy Josh Richards got fined. He never was suspended and has always supported WRG, the World Racing Group, the sanctioning body we've been talking about, Warren, as far as that did the drug test, or, they're in charge of that, and handled himself very professionally on and off the track. We're not NASCAR. It is crazy to think that you can't race because of who your car owner in our sport is. Where is the line? Is it okay his car was a different color, a different trailer, but Best still owned it? The check didn't go to Best. What if Josh leased it? What if it was my car in the Best trailer, or his car in my trailer, or maybe he left Randall at the shop? Our sport is just not at the level, in my eyes, to be playing that game. The negative impact will last a long time. LaSalle may choose to never have another UMP race again, which is a shame for many drivers in our area. And he says Tony is a great promoter, and now UMP has one less great track. He's talking about everything that's going on, and he's not just talking about drugs. He's talking about everything. But the big topic was the drug deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of want to focus more on that because that is such a wide open area where you have to set limits because they're going to have people that argue for prescription medication, like Lauren Cruzy brought up. Remember that?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And there's a section in here on that.
Okay. So why don't you, Warren? Let's kind of go into that right now. And let's kind of talk about, I know we're getting way ahead of where we want to be.
Yeah.
But
just a couple hours.
But, that's fine. We can go
just
talk
rearrange
about
our format.
Well, we can.
We can do that. We're not at the track.
That's right.
Format? What format?
Yeah.
So
intended format.
Do you guys want to go and talk about the national stuff first and get that out of the way so we can get into
Yeah, why don't we just keep going down the line?
Okay.
Which
is fine.
That's fine.
Really want to get our time in on this because Warren spent a lot of time with the
I
research.
agree.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that was Fegers' comments. We're going to come back around to that towards the back end of the show. Did you guys hear about the Mansfield accident?
Yeah.
Okay.
What an idiot.
I'm not. Hey, he took the words out of my mouth. Okay, so for those of you guys that haven't heard about this, okay, at Mansfield, unbelievable. This promoter, I can't remember his name.
Dummy.
He's 30 years old. He's the promoter of the track. Here's my question. What are you doing on the racetrack at 10 o'clock at night in a pickup with your buddy in the track? Cody Summer. Cody R. Summer. He's the track promoter there. It's 10 o'clock at night. He's in a pickup on the track with his friend in it. Okay, now in the if you read the news on this, he wrecks the truck. Now, when I say wrecks the truck, I mean he wrecks the truck. He loses control, hits the outside.
He didn't wreck the truck.
No, he destroyed it.
He absolutely totaled the son of a gun.
Right. So he hits the outside retaining wall and flips the truck several times to the point where they need the jaws of life to get these guys out. Okay. Fortunately, this idiot didn't kill anybody, himself or his friend. Okay, now here's my question.
I'm listening.
How much did he have to drink to do that?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is not something you do. Say, hey, I got an idea. No, this is something. I mean, that is not sober thinking. I don't care who you are or where you're at.
This just in from one of our drivers. Quote, hold my beer and watch this.
Okay.
I can't say,
this is going to be good.
I can't say the last word, but that's what he's thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
I mean, absolutely. I just don't understand.
What I mean, you literally, I've sat there and I've driven.
James Gang just arrived.
Ooh.
Right on. Those guys are awesome.
Okay, we're going to go on a quick 30-minute commercial break, folks. We'll be right back with more. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, but in all reality, here's the problem. Here's the issue at hand. What are you doing? I don't care if you promote the track.
There's
I don't
no
care
excuse
if you own
for
the
this.
track.
There's no excuse for this at all.
You're driving a pickup truck on a racing surface at 10 o'clock at night. I can bet you money, absolute money, that the lights weren't on.
Yep.
That he was probably driving around with his headlights on going, hey, watch this. I'm gonna
hold my beer.
Hold my beer. I'm going to go ahead and crank a little wedge into her, and we're going to go around sideways.
So
what are you doing? Are you nuts?
You got to be stupid.
It's a half-mile clay oval there.
So
in
you're talking
Mansfield.
about a long straightaway. You're talking about speed. Okay, here's the other thing. This is the promoter of the track. He's not the owner of the track. He's the promoter who has signed, I think it was a 3-year deal.
With an option to buy the track.
With an option to buy the track.
I don't think he'll be able to now after his medical bills.
Absolutely.
I wonder
right.
how he feels about drug testing.
Bingo!
Here's the thing, too, though. If you're the owner of this facility and your promoter does this and you've got a contract, I'm going to do everything I can to end that contract right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's just bad business right there.
Big
time.
This guy couldn't have done anything worse other than kill himself or the guy in the truck with him.
That might have been better.
Now, we're jumping a little ahead of the game here, guys. We don't know if adult beverages were involved. We don't know if there were substances involved, but
something was involved.
Something was involved, and we all know stupidity was involved. I mean, drive the fire trucks on the racetrack. I'll tell you what, you don't realize how much speed you're carrying into the corner a lot of times. I mean, Corey and I had this conversation yesterday. It was like when we're wheel packing the track, we're going 35, 40 miles an hour easily.
I think it's a little faster. Wheel pack myself, but
but when we're trying to,
this guy rolled the truck multiple times. How fast was he? Obviously, this guy's on the throttle trying to show his buddy.
Exactly, and that's the thing is,
watch this.
Yeah,
hold my beer.
Yeah. I mean, here's a guy that thinks he's Scott Blomqvist, and
right.
Oh, I'll tell you right now, if I'm the track owner, that dude is not stepping foot back on that facility.
I'll tell you what, that was probably one of the worst decisions out there. I mean, you're talking 10 o'clock at night.
Yep.
Sunday night, right?
On a I don't remember what night it was.
Monday or Tuesday.
Oh.
But either way, I mean, the racing surface wasn't even rubbered up. It wasn't packed in. It wasn't dry. Well, it might have been dry.
Well, they had no business out there.
That's
bottom
right
line.
there.
No business out there at all.
Absolutely. There's no argument to this.
You listen to this here. The vehicle rolled over multiple times and came facing north.
Which was the direction he was going.
He was going. The cab roof was pushed in. Major front end damage. There were other people there. There were bystanders there.
Mm-hmm. So he's showing off for more than one person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
in the dark.
Yeah. And when the fire crew showed up, it actually took 2 different fire departments to show up.
Well, it's a good thing he had spectators to call 911.
Exactly. He did one thing right.
So I'll tell you right now, if this happened at a Jerry Schramm track,
they'd be banned for life.
86 for life.
Yep.
I'll tell you right now, Jerry would not tolerate that. He would not tolerate that.
And I'll tell you right now,
and I wouldn't blame him a bit.
I wouldn't either.
Claire Arnold wouldn't. Nobody else. I don't know a track owner.
Claire wouldn't 86 you.
He'd kill you. He'd finish a job you tried to do.
He'd say, I got 40 acres back here and I got a shovel.
I got a pond.
Yeah.
I mean,
you start talking about it, they had the Mansfield Fire Department there and the Ohio National Guard.
I saw that. The
Yes.
National Guard was there. My gosh. It must have been pretty serious.
It had to be.
Would they
they
airlift him out of there with National Guard?
They had to cut him out of the car.
Yeah. They had to use... We used their tools and our tools. So you're telling me, just from reading that, I'm sitting here going, man, I'm thinking 2 things. A, that truck was pretty messed up.
Had the barrel roll.
B, I wouldn't want to get in a crash in that fire department if they had to use the military's tools to get me out.
Another valid point, really.
I mean, in all reality here, folks, you're talking about a promoter who's supposed to lead by example. And the example that he showed in this instance ain't necessarily the best example ever.
He's like the rest of us. He's a human being. He made a mistake. I'm sure he's hating himself for it right now.
But here's the problem.
Things happen.
This kid is 30 years old. He's a promoter. He's just ruined any promotion job he'll ever have at any other racetracks. I mean, if he comes to your track...
He'll have to live with it.
Absolutely.
That's all there is to it.
Wasn't he involved with the Gateway Dirt Nationals?
Well, yeah, he was.
I knew the name sounded familiar, and I'm going, wait a second. I've been thinking for like the last couple of days, where do I know that name from?
What was the name?
The Gateway Dirt Nationals, Cody Summer.
Yeah, that does sound familiar.
So, well, he did the... it goes on to talk about it. But, I mean, it's just... unbelievable. I heard this story. I said, we got to talk about this. This is just one of the dumbest things I've heard in a long time at any racetrack. And for the promoter to do it...
Where is Mansfield? Is that...
It's Ohio, I believe.
It's in Ohio, yes, but I wonder if it's... what's the big... oh, shoot. What's the big track there?
Eldora. How close to Eldora is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just out of curiosity.
But I just,
talk about that later.
I mean, just unbelievably stupid.
Well, it's right next to an Air Force base. So that's why they were there. But, I mean, it's way up there. It's right up by the Great Lakes.
Yeah.
It's literally, if you were to take right between Toledo and Cleveland and go south, like right in the middle, it's about even with Pittsburgh, it looks like.
Okay.
So, I mean, you start talking, and look at this. We up on the widescreen, big screen up here, Mr. Corey.
Widescreen, big screen.
Widescreen's big screen.
Yeah.
But you look at it here.
Look how long those straightaways are.
That literally looks like a half-mile Lebanon.
It really does. I mean, that's a beautiful racetrack.
Looks like Bristol.
And I think they said this wreck was happening into turn 3, correct?
Into turn 3, so that'd be right up here.
So now look at if
Facing
he was
north.
at speed at all, and he comes out of turn 2. If you guys can, where'd you find this at?
This is on Google Maps.
Google Maps, Mansfield Speedway. You got an aerial view looking down. Look at how it sweeps out of turn 2, and you got that long straightaway into turn 3. If they're at under speed, I mean, you dude's carrying some speed.
Well, if you look at it there, turn 2 is a lot longer than turn 1 and turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, as I'm saying,
if you look
sweeps out.
It's a longer sweeping turn, and if this is on, because this track used to be, it was paved in '99,
right? And the picture you're looking at, I believe, is when it was paved.
Yeah, exactly.
That's concrete.
That's concrete.
Yeah, but it's still.
But it's dirt now.
The configuration's the same.
I did read where they tore the concrete up in '99.
Yeah, put dirt.
Yeah.
But I mean, regardless, those are long straightaways. You're carrying some speed in a car that's not, or a truck that's not built for that purpose. And when you wreck something like that, I mean, you're talking about that's
you're talking leaf springs and an open diff instead of 4 bars and a closed diff.
Right.
And a roll cage and a 5-point.
Right. Helmets and fire suits.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean,
unbelievable.
Come on.
So, okay, let me ask you guys a question. Seriously. I mean, if you're the promoter of that track, what do you do?
If I'm the promoter?
You have a contract.
Or the owner?
I mean, if you're the owner of the track and you have a contract with this guy.
Well, he's obviously promoting my racetrack in a way that I don't see as fit.
Right. But at the same time, you have a contract. There's going to be legal stipulations of what you can and can't do. I mean, I guess ultimately.
We've already given him too much of our time.
Well, and I agree with you. I agree with you on that. But, I mean, you've got to do whatever you can to get something like that associated with your racetrack gone.
Exactly.
There's no room for that. That's how you kill a racetrack. Insurance on that place. I mean, think about insurance. They're going to be notified of that.
Well, I think we're doing a good job of doing that.
So,
it's a PR nightmare. It's damage repair right now.
Absolutely. The only thing good about this, and I don't even know if that's a true statement, is that these two idiots lived. I mean, that's a bad thing to say. I mean, I know it's a bad thing to say, and I'm saying that in
a joking way,
right? Exaggerating, but you know, what's the word I'm looking for? We got a text coming here that says, you know, hey, tell the doctor to pull the plug. So, natural selection. That is natural selection. I mean,
what shape are these guys in?
I haven't heard the condition.
The passenger was treated for minor injuries. There is a big debate right now as to what's going on with Cody. There's a debate right now as to that he went to the hospital with major injuries. The hospital's saying there's no record of him being a patient.
Right,
so
right. I saw
at this
that.
point, I don't